This video is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, where you can find cool stuff in stock.
Hello, and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and today is the 6th day in Shark and a Half week. We're half done. Oh, I miss it already. And as a reminder to all of you, you know what I'm going to say. Shark Week and a Half is brought to you by the CGB token. CoolStuffInc.com. Check out the link in the description. Fast enough? Painless enough this time? What do you think? Anyway, today, Mono Black Shark Attack. This deck, how do I describe it? One of my favorite decks that I built last month was the Mono Black Yorion deck, which was a big black Ugin control deck that featured Yorion, 80 cards, a bunch of golden eggs, and Lithoform Blight, and a ton of removal spells and a ton of colorless lands. That deck made me really happy, and it was actually, I think, better than people realize, because the mid-game with the Yorion explosion of value really helped bridge into the Ugin-powered, Crawling Barrens-powered late game. So that deck's really good. I set out to make a version for Shark Typhoon, and I decided, just for the purpose of spice and nothing else, not because I necessarily think it's right, I'm not sure if it's right, I decided not to make it a Yorion deck, and I added 4 Shark Typhoons as the only blue cards to see how it would play differently and give fans of the archetype a different look. So, behold, the big black Shark Attack. This deck has win cons in Crawling Barrens and Shark Typhoon, as well as Ugin to sweep the board, although we go down to just 2 copies, not making Ugin ramp the absolute essential critical part of the deck. Sometimes you drew 2 or 3 Ugins before you drew 8 lands. And at moments like that, you might say to yourself, you know, the Shuffler is not fine. But we all know the Shuffler is not fine. The real question is, are you willing to adjust your deck building style to match a Shuffler that isn't fine? Or are you going to complain about it, like everybody in the comments? Huh? Yeah? When I say the Shuffler is fine, the truth is, guys, I know it's not fine. But, like so many things in life that are not fine, I try to make the best of it and build to take advantage of it instead of complaining. So, voila. We have 2 Ugins, so that we don't draw as frickin' many, but 4 Shark Typhoons, because the sweet thing about Shark Typhoon is you can always cycle it if you draw too many, and you can often chump block, so it's like you gain some life when you do. Or trade, or make a threat the opponent has to use a spell on. So Shark Typhoon kind of subs in as the win con for the Ugins that got cut. Since we cut a few Ugins, we run a few more sweepers. 2 Shadow's Verdict, 3 Extinction Event to try to keep the opponent from running us over. 3 Solemns instead of 4, with less Ugins. A couple of Solemns still seems like a good bet, as it can ramp us to a hard cast Shark Typhoon. And it finds us the island, since we don't run very many blue sources. 4 Elspeth's Nightmare to pick those rogues apart, as well as other aggro decks. And it's just fine against Doom Foretold, getting to take a card from their hand and insulating you from the Doom itself. Mazemind Tome, this should not surprise you, the Book of the Brain. 4 Heartless Act and 4 Bloodchief's Thirst. Excellent black removal spells to keep things away. And 3 Cling to Dust to terrorize rogues and decks that use the graveyard for value, like Kroxa. Things of that nature. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It is a blue-black control deck, but there are no counter spells. There are only black removal spells, sweepers, and then powerful endgames. And I think that's actually pretty format good right now. Because in an aggro format, in best of 1, when you're on the draw, counters can be so weak, and the opponent can come at you so fast that just being able to remove, sweep, and then work on taking over the game, and not even worrying if you can counter your opponent's things. Just worry about answering every single threat they play on the board, and draw some extra cards with Tome. It seems to be enough at the moment. The ETB value has actually gone down. Omnath, Uro aren't there. Instead, there are a lot of cards that actually need to be in play to be the value, or they're adventure cards that get value off the spell side. So, if you remove those things before they create ETB value, then you hang tough, which is different. It's different from standard before the Omnath ban for sure. Not everything draws a card when you play it anymore. All right. So, any other notes about the deck? I don't think so. I think it's pretty straightforward. I think you get what we're trying to do. Let's dive in to the Mythic ladder and let the nonsense begin. Oh, really quick, shill, 2 days in a row. But just a reminder, if you want to support the channel by buying some sweet Cobra Kai merchandise, that's what we're shilling. Because you frickin' maniacs, you bought out the shark hoodie that I was promoting. You actually sold it out. So thank you for that. Sincerely, I'm humbled and amazed, and I don't even know how to process in my head that you guys buy a hoodie because I like a hoodie. Influencer. God, I hate that word. Anyway, let's dive in. Let the shark attack nonsense begin. Ready to rumble. Let's go, shark machine. The big black shark machine. Maduku. We will fight. We will fight. Well, I hope it's rogues. Doesn't look like rogues. Hand might do nothing. Would be epic. Get that on black. Yay! Everybody's favorite. Probably cycle one of these just to cycle one of these. Although maybe I try to ambush a 1/1. Okay, opponent's off to a good start. We're off to a bad start. They're scared of the rogues. Well, let's make them keep thinking it's rogues. Looks like we're up against food. It's a really hard matchup. Needs a lot of things to go perfectly. If we don't find a removal spell for this next creature they play, though, I think the game's already over. I mean, you have 2 1/1s. Why not attack? Whoa, with the mana dork, that would be gutsy, right? Alright, make the 1/1. Ugin. Of course. Of course we draw that instead of all the cheap removal spells in the deck, of course. Well, if we get hinged here, the game never happened. Elder Gargaroth, okay. So, we need Extinction Event. That would be sweet. Let's see if we can draw one here with the Cling, and then let's also cycle the Shark Typhoon to absorb a point of damage. Give ourselves another chance to draw one. Okay. You're telling me there's a chance. Alright, 2 large things dead. The opponent now is well aware that we are not rogues. They've got a lovey-dovey. They've got another Caryatid. There's some kind of bizarre, like, mega ramp. Or beast tribal. Or they're just really into the Elder Gargaroth. But I can't kill off these little 1/1s. They have so many 1/1s for Lovestruck Beast. Let's keep drawing into the deck. Try to find the answer. Radiant Fountain. Let's play it. Alright, we're gonna go straight to Ugin. We need to dodge Henge for one more turn. Remember, Ugin doesn't exile colorless things, so playing the Tome is just fine. Thorn Mammoth! That is a big green deck. Oh my goodness. Big green versus big black. Place your bets, everybody. Make it a good one. Yep, more removal is fine. I think our deck is set up very well against this deck unless they exactly play a Henge. And the opponent didn't find the Henge this time. Now, do we play the Ugin, though? And exile everything? Or do we leave them with a mammoth? Or do we kill the mammoth and the beast and set up our Ugin better? Actually, I like that. I like that a lot. We can Maul and Heartless Act, make them rebuild, and then Ugin. And our Ugin might stick around, because Ugin sticking around is way better. Opponent nosing the graveyard. Let's see, do they? Yeah, that can get taken out. Scavenging Ooze gets killed by the Ugin. They can pick off my Klings though, and that's what they plan to do. Okay, let's leave the basic forest untapped. Yes, good. Not going after the Solemn that would give them a life, at least not yet. Okay, now going after it. You did it. You ate my graveyard. So that mana clears, they're tapped out. Destroy target creature with no counters, that's you. Destroy other creature, that's you. Shoot those down, draw a card. Like ducks in a barrel? Is that the phrase? Fish in a barrel? I think it's fish in a barrel. And then doom arrives. Or let's hope so. Look at their exile pile. It's all their creatures. Sent away, brushed aside, with a flap of the dragon's wings. Just the way green was meant to suffer against control. The good old days. Before henges and questing beasts. Good game. Oh, you're gonna scoop them up? You've had enough? You've had enough pain. We'll use the Nightmare on that. Fire this off. Send over Barons. Get that clock ticking. Draw a card. Try to make things quick for them. Quick and painless. They were a good sport after all. But with no Shark Typhoon, we had to cycle him. But I guess that did show off, like, kind of what's great about Shark Typhoon. Getting to use it early to buy time actually really worked out. Oh, they drew into the henge. Well, I'm actually going to take the Uprising because it's cheaper. I'm just going to shoot down the beast. And the face. And attack with the Barons. And draw a card. Tome does its job, gets us back to 25. Draws the other Ugin. Land nothing from the opponent. Ah! And that's the scoops, as the Barons and the Ugin are more than happy to finish the job. 429. Little off. Yeah, grim. 99% gamer. Love this hand. Hate being on the draw, but love this hand. If something can survive a Zerg Rush, it should be this. Okay, so we get it. You're going to Thieves Guild Enforcer. Just do something. We get it. We've seen this movie. Alright, we scry something to the top we don't want, like a Solemn. Although, they might be the Zareth version, so we should put any permanent on the bottom. So that they can't get it, steal it from us. Since we know we're going to get milled anyway. We get it. We know the movie. How many How many times must rogues just rope out everything? You got me. I'm at 19. I love how they hit one of my 2 Ugins there, too. Classic rogues. Alright, let's start killing your things. I'm done. Alright, before you draw another card, kill your Thieves Guild. No defense. I was hoping they'd defend it, then I could Nightmare. But apparently that's not the way it's going to be. So, since we want them to play a creature, the problem is if they play like a Thought Thief, and then they get to attack with it, they'll counter the Nightmare. So we'll just wait. Or maybe I'm supposed to play Tome and not risk missing a land drop. Yeah, let's go for it. If they counter the Tome, that's their counter. I mean, we still risk missing a land drop anyway, but Tome gets us more chances. Ah, we're a Brazen Borrower type. Okay, well, there's a land on top. Not really the one I wanted, but it's a land. Can't complain too much. Interesting, they fetch now. They're a now fetcher on passage, but everything else on end stepper. Interesting. Oh, I see, we're slamming Rankles. I guess that's fine. I mean, what am I gonna do? Discard the Ugin? Maybe I get to draw a card? Like, that's fine. Yeah, we each draw. Nice. Alright. Still can't hit an untapped land, but we hit a Cling, and we have a Heartless Act for the Rankle. We want that land. Rankle down before they have counterspell shields. 4 cards in the graveyard. And we're out of instant speed removal, which is unfortunate. We're going to have to start sorcery speed, slamming stuff into counterspells. We can't dance very much longer. Okay. We're not taking action. Let's try to exile the Ugin and draw. Show them the Cling. Hopefully they don't have Cling of their own. Not yet. Alright, 5 mana. Let's go for Tome. So we can draw with Tome, or we can play Nightmare. I think we go for Nightmare. It actually messes with them a lot. We can take their Into the Story, for example. Or their Drown in the Loch. So that they can't counter the Extinction event that has to hit their Brazen Borrower. And you see, going right in the tank. They only have 2 blue. If they use a Drown in the Loch on this, they don't get to add pressure to the board, which is makes it a pretty good play for us. And yep, they're going to counter. So it's like it took the counter anyway, and we didn't take 3 damage from the Brazen Borrower. But if they have another Flash Rogue, then I guess that's fine for them. Hopefully it's one Elspeth's Nightmare can kill. Again. Okay. I mean, this is fine. We can do this. I don't mind. I'll play this game with you. Hopefully they don't have another blue source. They've been blue bottlenecked so far. Oh, they do. Alright. And they've got a Robber. Well, that's a good Nightmare target because we don't have enough cards in our graveyard yet for them to sacrifice the Robber in response. they counter this, we have Extinction Event next turn to get their Borrower and their Robber. They give a nice, always a sign of disappointment. They check my graveyard. No, you haven't milled me enough. You have to do that. That's like something you have to do. It doesn't happen on its own. They could have drawn with Castle if they were feeling behind in cards, but they decided to add Brazen Borrower to the board instead. So they like playing aggressive. I can deal with that. Let's see if their last card's an Into the Story. They have 7 mana here for it. And the Elspeth's Nightmare is about to hit, so that 7th land might have been crucial. Whoa. Now? That's definitely not right. Not with the Elspeth's Nightmare about to go off. I don't think. I mean, I'm not sure what they are trying to draw to. See if we can keep hitting our lands. Another Cling? That's not bad at all. I mean, we'll take it. Just in case they find a way to get rid of the other one. A Heartless Act and an Island. So they're about to have 2 Borrowers. I'm going to try drawing with the Tome. See if I can hit a spot removal spell. Or actually we can play the Solemn here. They'll play other Borrower. They'll hit me. They have to draw a Drown in the Lock. If they draw a Drown in the Lock, then they can counter the Extinction Event. But if I scry, I might even hit a second. If I just need a land, and then I have 2 Extinction Events. So I can even play around 1 counter spell if they top deck it. If I don't, I should still get 2 turns. It should be fine. They like their main phase castle a lot, but now they can't even play Drown in the Lock if they find it. Alright, let's scry. Another Nightmare. No, let's go for the land. Draw. Shadow's Verdict. Well, their graveyard just got exiled. I attack you as Solemn. No stick. Let's check for a stick with this Cling to Dust. See if they have a counter. Might help us decide which spell to cast. The Event or the Verdict. No stick, so they have no counter spell. Oh yeah, rogues. Oh yeah. Well, they got me to 7 cards. Now they get me to 9. They're not done dancing yet. Man, they still love the way they activate that castle. Do you think they'll block? Let's find out. I would love a card. Alright, drop opponent to 9. Go for Ugin. Let's go. Bang. Where's the Shark Typhoon, though? This is definitely a matchup where resolving Shark Typhoon should do a lot to wreck them. So let's see if we can draw one. This is supposed to be the hard cast matchup. The one where we always hard cast the Shark Typhoon if we can. They can't usually beat a hard cast Shark Typhoon. But here we are, unable to find one. Yeah, this is fine. Let's get rid of a Heartless Act. And let's get rid of permanents that they could Xerath Sand. Sucking them dry. Beating them down with sad robots. Yeah, wow, they didn't even mill. They didn't mill a Shark Typhoon either. 0 Shark Typhoons in the top half of the deck. Win cons are hard. They're hard to find, man. Sad robot down to 2. No Crawling Barons either. Weird draw, but all the removal we needed to fend off our opponent. And that's what mattered in the long run. That's what mattered. Remember, leave a thumbs up and a comment on the video if you like decks that thoroughly smash rogues. Even when they draw funky. No. No, you don't get to wreck my graveyard. You don't get to fill up my graveyard with your roguey rogues. Now you has nothing. No graveyard. Your Drown in the Loch counters none. Another island, okay. Anybody else thirsty? A negate. You did it. So, if the last card is Drown in the Loch, does it matter? Don't think so. Malia. Aw, they're nice. Nice rogue player. See? See, rogues ain't that... Yes, they are. They're that bad. You take that back. You hate them. You hate those rogues. Everybody hates rogues. I kind of like rogues. I like beating rogues, I think, even more than I like winning with rogues. We're fighting a sun bear. Whatever the... What's a sun bear? Anyway, they have Lurrus, we have Heartless Act, and 2 robots on the draw. Not the greatest hand I've seen in my life, and could definitely just end up with nothing to do on turn 3, and life is miserable and sad, but alas. We play the game. Solemn is definitely not good against rogues or cycling, so maybe this hand was a mulligan for sure. Our deck is well set up, though. I'd like to think we'll get through this. They didn't crab. Okay. And they're off to the races. They cling. That's nice. Let's gain our life. And get Heartless up in here. Need a play for next turn. We've only drawn land. We've drawn nothing but land. Off the top. Alright, they mill another cling. Oh! That's good. That is very good. Let's get this down. Kill this before it gets to be used. And next turn we get to clean the graveyard. And we're not under pressure. This is going okay. This is another rogue deck we plan to make our victim. Rune Crab. That's frustrating. Oh no! Okay, now it's going to be really hard to clean our graveyard. Oh, I'm salty now. Come on, what is this draw? Alright, give me your frickin' hand. I'm destroying it. Hand it over. No more into the stories here. Do you think they'll counter the Solemn? I mean, we could just work on emptying the graveyard. They're just going to fill it pretty fast, but we need to empty their graveyard too for the Lurrus. Okay. I know what I'm doing. We'll do it on their upkeep so it wastes mana on their turn. Well, actually this is going to clean their graveyard, right? So it's fine. I can't empty my graveyard anyway, though. We may as well let them play it from here. Another verdict. Deck's half gone already. They buy Lurrus, but they're about to lose the graveyard. We just need to actually remove their stuff. So, Temple of Deceit is targeted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we put stops here in case we draw removal spells, like Heartless Act, that we can then target Thieves Guild Enforcer with. The problem is they drown it, right? And I can't really stop that. Okay, a Bloodchief's Thirst as well. Let's see if they use a drown here. Or if they just decide to defend Lurrus. But with the Elspeth's Nightmare trigger, we can get this exiled for good. Let it go, let it go, let it go. Let it go, let it go. Come on. Let it go. They're like, oh, it's a perfect curve, but I want to defend my Lurrus. And they let it go. And now we get the Graveyard Exile trigger, so they can't get it back. And I think we have to hold the Thirst to make absolutely sure that we do kill the Lurrus. Shark Typhoon, we'll keep it. It might get milled, but that's the way it goes. We need to use Thirst and then use Cling to get rid of the crab so that Lurrus can't get it back. And they do hit another land. Let's see if they just snap a Lurrus here. Although if they do, they can't drown. They don't have the their mana's wrong. Their mana's messed up. Okay. So what to do? Let's go for the Thirst. If they counter this, well, they don't. So, they might be planning to drown, but we can use the Cling when they put Lurrus on the stack to try to exile the crab. Yep, they go for Lurrus. We'll go for exile your crab. The opponent might counter this. And if they do, we Extinction Event. They let it go. Okay. I mean, we're slowly working our Clings to a place where they can turn off drowns. We're getting there. And the opponent just has this Lurrus. And we have a Thirst. But the mana's all wrong. I think we need to keep cleaning the graveyard. I think that's the play. We can do it now, because we might draw another removal spell that we want to use. Let's target our Ugin. Baron's Verdict. 1, 2, 5. Okay. Get below into the story range, so they would have to pay full price for that card. Can you believe it? We've almost cleaned out this frickin' grave. And we've definitely cleaned them out. Okay, they kept on top. Must be a creature. I mean, maybe into the story, but probably a creature. Alright, so if they attempt to drown the event, we can cling in response to counter the drown. So, we go for the event, right? Exile the Lurrus for good. Or we could go for Bloodchief's Thirst and just try to kill it. Hang on to the event. But the Bloodchief's Thirst is so cheap and efficient, probably kills their next thing. Name odd. Alright, say go. We don't want to try to cast Solemn here. We're on 7. Okay, so on their upkeep we need to cling. Cling the event. It could be an Into the Story, we just don't want them to get in on the cheap. Oh, I didn't get to draw. I guess I'll take it. I could have exiled another Cling for that. Maybe I should have. Anyway. Here's Solemn. 22 cards in the deck, by the way. Beat you to death with robots? Why not? Sure would have liked to draw Shark Typhoon. It just doesn't happen against rogues, is what I've learned. So what they kept on top was a Thieves Guild Enforcer. We did draw it. 4 cards in the graveyard. Let's try to set it up. The Drown couldn't have countered it anyway, but what I'm worried about is another Thieves Guild Enforcer or a Rogue to power up the Drown so that there's enough cards in the graveyard to counter the Typhoon. And let the pain begin. We are on 6. If they can get one more card to the graveyard, they can into the story on the cheap. But nope. Not today. Not this day. Let's start with an attack. I think what I'm going to do is exile their Thieves Guild. We don't want to be careful not to draw too many cards now. And let the opponent like have a line to mill us out. Blood Chief's Thirst, you got it. Doesn't put a card in our graveyard. Pretty clear that they don't run their own Klings, or if they do, our Kling definitely did its job. Three life confirmed. Gain some counters on our Barons. I'm not looking to draw with Tome very much. Like I said, let's just keep the mill me out line away from the opponent. We know they have crabs. We know they have Fabled Passages. Weird stuff can happen. Let's draw Aggro Mauling. Makes a 4/4 shark and kills a thing. Pretty freaking sweet. If I do say so myself. What you got? Eliminate my Barons. Sad, but it happens. Eliminate in your Rogues deck. Have you been cheesed out by Barons before? Well, they're at 8. We could take the aggro line. That's not me. We could name Odd with Extinction Event to make a 4/4 shark, is what I was saying. Good draw, please. Keep it coming. Okay. Well, thou shalt have all 4 Radiant Fountains. How about that? How about that? You like that? Soaring Thought Thief. Where are we at? There we go. Kill it now. Make 4/4 shark. They're like, how is the graveyard only 3 cards? I did my rogue things all game. What happened? The sad robot beatdown. The sky full of sharks. It was too much. It was just too much for a sun bear. It was, you might say, unbearable. It's been a good day. 2 rogue decks have been tortured. All I need is a mono red mage. There have not been enough mono red mages, man. They got bored. They got bored. They stopped playing mono red like I always said they should, and now I miss them. I miss them so much. This is mono red. We play mono red. Mono red. Mono red. Attack me till they're dead. It happened. All right, so we really want an odd extinction event to catch their Annex and their champion. So we want to Heartless Act their Robber here. Could have also Blood Chief's Thirst it. I'm honestly not sure which is better. Annex. Fervent Champion. Robber of the Rich. Alright. We could make a 1-1 and just chump block. Basically gain 2 life from the Shark Typhoon. We could do nothing this turn. That's also an option. We could cling and gain 3 life. That's an option. Kind of neutralizes their attack. Sure. Gaining life is good against the mono red. And then our Shark Typhoon is a lot better this turn. They're stuck on 2 lands, so they have a ton of spells. They have spells for days. Let's see if we can get them to play another pre-combat. No, we cannot. It's asking too much. So if we make this Shark Typhoon, they'll Bone Crush it in response. I'd rather they played an Annex and we swept them. So we'll just take this. Yep, there's Hardened in the Forge. So, let's save the Shark Typhoon for later. A 3/3 Shark is so much better. We'll just charge the Barons this turn. Weird looking turns, I know. But it's because we can do this. Name odd. Opponent still has 4 spells. We know because they missed a land drop. Bone Crusher Giant is almost guaranteed. Embercleave is almost guaranteed. Second Annex is something we want to dodge, but could definitely happen. Could definitely be a second Annex. Oh, Phoenix of Ash. Brutal. Well, I think we make the 4/4. I think taking a turn off to Shark Typhoon is too much lost tempo. If the opponent decides to pump the Phoenix to kill the 4/4, that's their whole turn. More likely they'll use a Rimrock Knight and then play the Rimrock Knight. Then we'll Blood Chief's Thirst, get the Barons going. Do something, Shark Typhoon! There's a storm brewing. It's a storm full of sharks. It's how I lost me leg in that sky full of sharks. Yeah, there's the Rimrock Knight. They want me to take it. I will not take it. There's only 1 card in Graveyard. Life is a resource. But in this case, it's the one that matters. Okay, I was going to charge up Barons, but let's get Tome going. I suppose I'll wait because there might be something worth a Heartless Act, but I'd love to draw with Tome here. We have 6 cards in Graveyard now, so Cling is on the line. See if we can find another Exile effect. Not yet, not yet. Oh, that's a big Typhoon. That will come online soon. Three cards in Graveyard, so with land they could get the Phoenix back if I Heartless Act the Annex. That's okay. Fervent Champion. Out. Out, I say. They might have another Rimrock Knight. It's possible I should have waited for the Fervent Champion to deal damage, but any smart red mage would put the Rimrock Knight on the Fervent Champion instead. No other 2-drop, huh? Let's draw our Shark Typhoon. And let's scry for removal spells. Bingo. Pass turn. They find the land. That could be an Embercleave. but they look like they want to bring back the Phoenix, which if they do that and we ambush them with a 5/5 shark, it's going to feel pretty good. Keep in mind, if they just attack and don't put any pressure on us or play into a removal spell, we can cling their Phoenix. This is their one shot with it. Would the big brain play be to get back Phoenix and not attack? There's no way a red mage ever makes that play. That's a strategy master 1, 2, 3 kind of play. If you're new to the channel, go check out the ultimate showdown between me and Red Mage Strategy Master 1, 2, 3 of the Mono Red Academy versus the Cool Kids Club Dojo from September last year. Yeah, they are tanking. They might be coming around to Phoenix no attack. Let's see what happens. No Red Mage makes that play, right? They don't play board position. They play all in, attack face till you're dead. Oh my gosh. I've never seen a red mage think this hard before. This is 2 timeouts. Almost 2 timeouts. Here comes the Burbo. Yep. And... No! I mean, they didn't attack with these, but these aren't the creatures worth saving, I don't think. These are not the creatures worth saving. These are fodder. All right, let's scry it up. Removal, please. Yes. Could tick this just to get it to where we gain 4, but I'm at 12, so I don't think it's necessary. Will we attack our opponent? Never. Never. The mono red, like we have to savor these moments together with mono red. We really do. It's not. I haven't played against it much in the last week. I build every deck thinking, can this have a good game with mono red? And then when you don't play it for a few weeks, you start to question your decisions. You start to question your existence. Some would say, Batman needs Joker. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen that in comments. It's starting to feel true. It's starting to feel true. Oh, mono red. Oh, mono red. Not like this mono red. Not like this mono red. Don't leave. Don't leave. I don't want you to leave. Tell you what, I won't attack you. If I don't attack you at all, like at any point in this game, will you stay? Will you stay with me, mono red? Will you stay? Will you stay? I won't even knock out your Phoenix. I'll let you get it back. Do it. Go ahead. Go ahead, attack me. No? All right. Maul. I'm still here for you. I still won't attack you. I want every second of this that I can get. Just I forget about our special time together. I'll even sing you the song. This is mono red. We play mono red, mono red, mono red. Attack face till they're dead. Meow. Meow. Phoenix of the Ash. Torbrand of the Thane. I said I wouldn't attack, so I'm not going to. I'm still not going to attack. No attack. I promise. I just want to be in this moment. Why are you... Oh. And that was it. That was all the mono red deck could stand. And we are back for the post-game wrap, and it was a beautiful day. Bring a tear to your eye. Beautiful, beautiful day. Tortured Rogues, not once, but twice, with a 60-card build. Didn't need the extra 20 cards, didn't get milled out. Tore them to pieces. Just amazing. Just amazing. And then, to top it off, a reunion with our old pal Mono Red. And man, did we give them the Mono Red treatment. It felt like old times. It felt like the best of times. This is the kind of video I wake up every day and say, you know, if I can make that video again, I frickin' will. Now, I know that would get boring for some of you, but let's just take a moment. Bask in it. Swim in the ocean of Mono Red and Rogue tears, and then ride off into the sunset. This deck is sweet. This has been a lot of fun. I could chill a little bit more, but you guys stayed till the end. You're cool. You don't need the shill. You don't need the shill. You know. And you support me. Thank you so much for everything. Remember to check out the description. There's also an FAQ in the description. A lot of people don't know this. I don't talk about it. But a lot of the questions people ask me in the comments are answered in the description. So if you've never read a description, if you're new around here, check it out. And on that note, we'll keep it short, sweet, and heartfelt. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next video. If you stayed till the end, you're in the Cool Kids Club, you're CKC Dojo, you're cool. That's right. I said it. You're cool.